So let's get started. So this is the English book club that we are doing here. Edward and I, me and Edward. So Edward, so is it cold, hot? How's it been in Moscow?
Is it hard? We will have two week comment dire, avance
Before?
before 1st September with the temperature will be hot. The people like to profit this time, this next time of the summer,
Yeah.
to swim, to be in the nature.
Because the winter is coming up. It's coming soon. Yeah. All right. I
Yes,
got it.
the summer will be finished the 1st September. The autumn who will be begun.
Yeah. All right. Great. Edward, so let's get started. So this is, we are going to start today. Let me check this. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So we have, we are going to start the first part of the 7th chapter of Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment. We already talked about this chapter in French, but now we are going to do this in English. So page 2, no, it's not page 2 today, it's page 1. Sorry about that. Page 1 in English. All right. Okay, so we are going to start our 5th lesson, Crime and Punishment, chapter 7, page 1. So let's get started. We already did this in French, and we are going to do this right now in English, not Paruski, not Russian, but English.
It will be very good if we make it in Russian.
Yes, we are going to do, not today, because today is the English day, but yeah, we are going to do this in Paruski, in Russian. Yeah. All right. So Edward, we have here our content in English. So I am going to read until the end, and you are going to explain your idea, your opinion, your feelings about this. So the 7th chapter starts this way. The door was as before opened a tiny crack, and again 2 sharp and suspicious eyes stared at him out of the darkness. Then Raskolnikov lost his head and nearly made a great mistake, fearing the old woman would be frightened by their being alone and not hoping that the sight of him would disarm her suspicions. He took hold on the door and drew it towards him to prevent the old woman from attempting to shut it again. Seeing this, she did not pull the door back, but she did not let go the handle so that he almost dragged her out with it on to the stairs, seeing that she was standing in the doorway, not allowing him to pass. All right. What does it happens in this scene, this part of this work, Edward?
Uh, thank you. In this part, Raskolnikov enter very, very, very suddenly, and the lady is intimidate or afraid to watch him because the lady don't didn't previews to see him next his door. It was the first supposition that it's something wrong talking about the comportment of Raskolnikov.
All right. So carry on, Edward. While continue, parle quelque chose en plus de ton idée, de toutes tes idées à cause de ça, tes réflexions. Je vais juste mettre notre vidéo ici pour commencer, pendant ça.
And Raskolnikov don't know about himself what thing he will do because his mind is troubled and he is nervous and this scene this scene to speak us about the hesitation of two persons of Raskolnikov himself of the lady.
All right, great. So I'm going to read this in Portuguese, so we can also understand that in Portuguese. And after, I'm going to give my opinion on that. So let me check this. Where is it? So, como das outras vezes, a porta abriu-se. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. Como das outras vezes, a porta abriu-se devagarinho e, de novo, dois olhos penetrantes e receosos pousaram sobre ele. Olhando do fundo da escuridão, nesse momento, Raskolnikov perdeu o sangue frio e esteve quase a deitar tudo a perder, né? Deixar tudo a perder por sua culpa, receando que a velha se assustasse por se encontrar sozinha com ele, e não acreditando que a sua cara e o seu aspecto fossem próprios para traumatizá-la, segurou a porta e puxou-a atrás de si para que a velha não caísse na tentação de tornar a fechá-la. Por seu lado, ela não puxou a porta, mas também não a largou, de maneira que, por um pouco, não se arrasta juntamente com a porta até o patamar, quando viu que a velha continuava no umbral, estorvando-lhe a entrada. So, Edward, in this case here, what happens? Raskolnikov was trying to get in into the old lady house, but she realized something strange at Raskolnikov, you know? So she was trying to not leave him pass the doorway, but he struggled to keep the door opened, so he tried to get in. Did you understand in English
Yeah,
my feeling, my explanation?
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to say something else about this page?
Sorry?
Do you want to say something else about this page?
No,
I think we
no,
can. I think we can go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the page 2, part 2. He advanced straight upon her. She stepped back in alarm, tried to say something, but seemed unable to speak, and stared with open eyes at him. Good evening, Alyona Ivanovna, he began, trying to speak easily, but his voice would not obey him. It broke and shook. I have come, I have brought something, but we'd better come in to the light. And leaving her, he passed straight into the room uninvited. The old woman ran after him. Her tongue was unloosed. All right. What are your feelings, your thoughts about this part, Edward?
Uh, in the first, Raskolnikov enter in his apartment. Comment dire, impoli, d'une façon impolie.
Yes. He was rude, in a rude way.
Oui, in the route, and he is Raskolnikov is very nervous because like Dostoevsky wrote his voice do not obey him. He is very nervous, and he make this act with a lot of brutality, because we can see him enter the first in the apartment of lady. It is very impolite.
Yes, unpolite, unpolite.
Unpolite without attend to lady would invite him in her apartment. It isn't. He entering in the apartment of other person with
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, Edward, let's go for it. I'm going to read in Portuguese, and after I'm going to give my feelings about that. So, in Portuguese, it comes like this. Caminhou direto a ela, muito admirada, deu um pulo para trás. Quis dizer qualquer coisa, mas não conseguiu. E ficou olhando com os olhos muito abertos. Boa noite. A Alyona Ivanovna começou com um ar mais indiferente, mas com uma voz que já não lhe obedecia, entrecortada e tremente. Trago-lhe um penhor, mas entremos, vamos para a luz. E empurrando-a com um gesto brusco, entrou no quarto sem que ela o tivesse convidado. A velha correu atrás dele e começou a dar a língua. All right, so in this part here, it means that Raskolnikov forced to enter into the room, so he did, and after that, he the old woman, she was very uncomfort about this thing, you know, because she realized something strange in it. So he was really unwell with the situation and not comfortable with the situation, and she was really uncomfortable with this situation. Yeah, that's my guess. That's my supposition. So the first part of the chapter. Good heavens, what is it? Who is it? What do you want? Why, Aliona Ivanovna, you know me, Raskolnikov. Here, I brought you the pledge I promised the other day, and he held out the pledge. The old woman glanced for a moment at the pledge, but at once stared in the eyes of her uninvited visitor. She looked intently, maliciously, and mistrustfully. A minute passed. He even fancied something like a sneer in her eyes, as though she had already guessed everything. He felt that he was losing his head, that he was almost frightened, so frightened that if she were to look like that and not say a word for another half minute, he thought he would have run away from her. All right. What are your feelings, Edward, about this page?
The old lady was surprised, and Raskolnikov made the projection like in psychology, it is the term projection to her, like the old lady, old lady would be understand his motivation, his cruel motivation, but it is wrong. It is only his projection to her, because the old lady was only surprised, afraid, yes, of course, but she didn't understand the motivation of Raskolnikov. It is wrong.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to read this in Portuguese and after give my idea of it. So, meu Deus, mas que deseja o senhor? Quem é o senhor? O que quer? Repare, Aliona Ivanovna. Sou seu amigo, Raskolnikov. Ouça, trago-lhe o penhor de que lhe falava ultimamente. E estendeu-lhe o penhor. A velha ia para examiná-lo, mas tornou a fixar mais uma vez seus olhos nos do intruso. Contemplava-o atentamente com uma expressão maliciosa e receosa. Passou um minuto e ele julgou até perceber no olhar da velha qualquer coisa de irônico, como se ela tivesse já adivinhado tudo. Sentiu que perdia a cabeça, que tinha quase medo e que se o mutismo da velha se prolongasse meio minuto mais, acabaria por fugir. All right. So in this part here, Edward, what they are doing here? The old woman, she's still afraid, and Raskolnikov is trying to get by it, which means Raskolnikov is trying to calm down her, hey, he says, hey, I have a pledge for you. I have this pledge here for you. So, but the old woman, she took the pledge and she started calming down a little bit, but she's been still a little worried about the situation because that was very strange, very unpleasant to her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
All right, so this is it. Let's go for the last part. Why do you look at me as though you did not know me? He said suddenly, also with malice. Take it if you like. If not, I'll go elsewhere. I am in a hurry. He had not even thought of saying this, but it was suddenly said of itself. The old woman recovered herself, and her visitor's resolute tone evidently restored her confidence. But why, my good sir, all of a minute, all of a minute. What is it? She asked, looking at the pledge. All right, Edward, your
Thank
idea.
you. Like the mind of Raskolnikov is perturbed, is unstable. We can see the balance of two principal things to to give of to all the lady the object and
Edward,
the other.
I'm going to give you an advice. Devia estar dando um conselho. For the next lesson, try to see all of the content and imagine for the whole week in your head what you are going to say in English. So you are going to do it in a better way, you know? You are going to flow a little more natural. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and for the present lesson, I made the resume of my intervention, but when I speak, I lost a lot of things, and the words
Okay, that's great. That's
uh,
great. I got it,
can't.
Edward. I got it.
I
It's
can
just
give
an advice. Just go with it, and you are going to get to keep improving your English this way. Just do it, and you are going to keep improving your English. You are going to speak more natural. So keep it going, Edward, with your idea about this part here.
but I have these pages with text in English.
Okay, that's
Uh,
great. So go ahead with your idea about this part, please.
donc, uh, he, he, here, here balance between two ideas. The ideas of his inconscience to kill the old lady. This idea is not conscientisé, is not, je sais pas dire comment conscientisé. And the other idea on the surface, in the surface, to give her this object, and this idea to give her this object make him tranquilly, comment dire, sûreté, with assurance, and it permits him to speak with her
Okay.
with the intonation of sûreté.
All right. All right. That's great. That's great. So let's go for it. In Portuguese, it means, mas it says, mas por que me olha tanto? Como se não me conhecesse, disse ele também, de repente, com malícia. Aceite-o se quiser. Se não vou a outro lugar, não posso perder tempo. Disse essas palavras sem as ter pensado, como se lhe tivessem escapado de repente. A velha reconsiderou. Era evidente que o tom resoluto do visitante a animava. Mas, meu amigo, por que há de isto ser assim, tão de repente? Que é isso? Perguntou olhando para um objeto. So, at this time here, the old woman, what she did, what Raskolnikov did at first. He told her, hey, come on. If you don't want it, I'm going to elsewhere, to another place. So, in a drop of a hat, she decided, no, give me this. So let me see this thing. And then she forgot everything, all of the all odd things, which means the strange things that happened, and she focused on the pledge that would give her money if she would buy that in a very good price, as she does all the time. Yeah. All right. So this is it. Edward. So that was good. That was great. This is the chapter 7, the first page of Crime and Punishment, our lesson number 5. And this is it. Edward, do you want to say something for before we finish?
I no idea because it was on the boot.
Say that again. I didn't get that.
I don't idea because our explications are very good, and I don't idea.
Okay, so we are analyzing Crime and Punishment in a very nice way, which means with a polyglot material. So that will help a lot. And yeah, so this is it. Edward, I thank you so much for today, for being here, analyzing this with us. And I give you the credits, of course, for sure, because you helped me to translate all of this material. So yes, I have to give you the credit because you are working in it really hard with me. So thank you so much, Edward. Merci beaucoup. Спасибо огромное. И voilà. And this is it. Edward, thank you so much for today. And I'll see you next video conference that we are going to do together.
Thank you to organization for this English club. Is very interesting.
All right. Thank you so much, Edward. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.